What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all doing well, having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. It's Friday, and Friday's all about having a bit of fun, aren't they? Letting our hairs down. Hope you're all doing well. I wonder what you're all up to today. Let me know in the comments. Be interested to know. Please give these videos a like, a subscribe, and drop a comment in them. It makes a big difference. I've replied to every single comment since the start of these videos. There's 45 plus videos in, and so I do spend a bit of time interacting with you all. In the early days, it won't be forever, but while we do this now and build a good community and try and interact with you all, I'd love to hear a bit more from you all and hear all your thoughts about things. So today, let's jump into the level playing field and BRICS again. Let's pull off some more layers. I've had some new realizations, and we're going to do some more dot connecting, because that's all this is. It's just dot connecting. You guys are able to do this. We're all able to do this. It doesn't take a genius to do this. It's just joining the geopolitical events back to some of the old stuff that we were showing a while ago. Anyway, this is my Twitter account, @RipplesInWales. Give me a follow. Come and say hey. Right, where do we begin today's journey? The level playing field. Okay, it's in the fall, this topic at the minute. You might have seen a couple of videos of me talking about the level playing field recently. And it all began back in 2019 when Mark Carney, who was the Bank of England governor, met with Jerome Powell and all these kind of guys. And it was a Fed Reserve meeting. And it's an annual meeting, a summit even, I believe it is. Or is it? No, it's not a summit, it's an annual meeting, beg your pardon. I'm confusing that with the BRICS Nation Summit. And they talked in this particular meeting. Well, Mark Carney dropped a 23-page paper calling for a global virtual hegemonic currency. Now, this was just on the kind of periphery of Brexit, when Britain was breaking away from Europe to disconnect themselves from the old satanic money cabal and the Rothschilds controlled central money printer and go back to the old sovereign way of London and the old financial sector. And Mark Carney was the governor of the Bank of England, which helped push this through over the line. Many people don't understand this yet. Even I don't fully understand this yet. But this was the first move to connect the UK with the US and, I believe, all the other BRICS nations. And we're going to follow that through to the end now. Why? But I want to just show you what the level playing field, where it was and where it starts, because there's always references in my work to the level playing field. It's about Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is very, very specific, and it's very important. So if you hear me talking about it, I'm talking about this and the reference to any meetings that are going on right now in this area are to do with important current events. There's a meeting going on right now today and yesterday at this Jackson Hole with the 2023 Federal Reserve Summit meeting, and there's some very important people there from the G20 and thereabouts. So, you know, they're all very hot topics on crypto assets and crypto regulations right now. There's no accident that these things are all coming together at the same time. I've said in multiple videos now that I expect there to be a confluence of events that come together to push through regulations, of stablecoins, crypto assets, and therefore to be a shaking out of the old bad apples off the tree. There are many, many hundreds of thousands of cryptos now right now, and we're going to be left with a few, okay, as this kind of comes to pass. Right, and this is kind of another kind of, I was just doing some, I put here, look, remember I told you that the BRICS is connected to the level playing field, okay? And I couldn't quite formalize it in my head, and I didn't know quite what the connection was. Today I kind of, it came to my understanding what that was, and we're going to go full circle to show that. All this BRICS change that's going on right now, there's an enormous amount of change going on with the BRICS stuff, okay? They've just had their kind of leaders summit in South Africa, and we were told all our eyes on BRICS. Who told us to have our eyes on BRICS? Well, back in the day, actually the most current image that we can have, and why was the BRICS on our radars? Well, you see, we have Riddler Research, Mr. Ross van der Meer. We had Mr. van der Meer released this image that we've been watching all through the whole play out of events, and this image showed the BRICS nations in the center of here, and then you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you get it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like a 4-year window. Anyway, the BRICS are in the middle here. I'm reaching at that. I'm just playing around guessing. But we have the BRICS, and we have the rise of digital economy and finance, rise of China and Russia, and the rotation of America and the rise of Russia. Always remember the colours of Russia: the white, the blue, and the red. And you could connect them maybe to the bear sometime. I'm going to throw that little dot connecting in there. But the BRICS nations are here on the image. They're very, very important. We should pay attention to them. There's a lot going on because there was quite a lot of info left for us to understand that there was enormous change occurring. And the BRICS would clearly, the information was left that BRICS would be a catalyst of some sort. And now we've got that occurring. So we can use that now in our dot connecting process. Now, just yesterday, Watch Guru, and this is the BRICS, I think it's their BRICS info. Very informative. Twitter. 1111, excuse me. BRICS to officially abandon the US dollar for trade settlements. Unbelievable. Right? Are you seeing that? You seeing how big that is? I don't think any of us realise what this means yet. I'm going to defer to the likes of JC Collins, who's got a way better, bigger understanding of my understanding on these geopolitical events and macroeconomic things. But it's going to create very interesting opportunities. And the interesting thing is trade settlements. Do you see that word, settlements? Okay, so I'm going to leave that in the air for you there. This enormous change, and we've got Putin here. Speaking on the BRICS, accepting 6 new countries into the alliance. I believe that was Sudan, Argentina, Egypt. Who else was there? Saudi Arabia, UAE, and there's one other. I forget what it was. Saudi Arabia Foreign Minister. The Kingdom is the largest BRICS trading partner in the Middle East. A total bilateral trade with countries of the group exceeding 160 billion in 2022. This is the Saudi Arabia Foreign Minister. So there's massive moves being made. Huge moves. Breaking. BRICS to officially abandon the US dollar for trade settlements. There we go. Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran and UAE to join BRICS on January the 1st, 2024. Very interesting timing. Just going to have a sip of coffee. Crazy stuff going on. Okay, 1st of January 2024. Interesting date. Anyway, and there's 15 other countries seeking to join BRICS Bank as summit begins. This is the NDB I've talked about, the New Development Bank. Huge stuff. So we know this is in the fall. We know that it's creating an enormous geopolitical change. They've abandoned the US dollar for trade settlements. Now, the BRICS countries already constitute over, is it 50% of the world's GDP? It's bonkers. Right. So, this is Mark Carney. This is the level playing field.
On balance, I've said this before, my personal view is we probably would ease in that world, that scenario, but it's not a given, and it depends on how it shakes out.
So, changing gears, last issue, Governor Carney, I really appreciate your time and thoughts on this. You dropped a bombshell in the luncheon there. That's the way I was described. It's almost like a mic drop. You are exiting this job, almost like a mic drop. And
almost like a mic drop.
You need to go to a global virtual currency. It's a 23-page speech. It's very heavy. Give us the thumbnail. Why?
Global virtual currency. I'm going to say that once again. Global virtual currency. He's also called it a global hegemonic virtual currency. He's gone to this summit and he said, we need to change to this global virtual currency. Why? Because it was trade problems. He's gone there as an ambassador from the UK. The UK and the US have massive trade alliances. Okay? So we've seen this problem action solution showing in the BRICS. They've abandoned the dollar. Okay, but we're looking at things at the end of the timeline. This was what I'm about to bring you back round on here was done in 2018, and this is how these images were showing out to you. We're watching the system play out now, and the thing that connects all this together this level playing field and the call for a global hegemonic currency, and all these leaders meeting there, okay? And the riddlers using this scene, this background, this Jackson Hole, and I want to bring that into all of your consciousness. In the Ripple Riddler videos, he shows you the level playing field, okay? The Declaration of Independence, it's shown on the bearable guy calendars, level playing field. What the hell? We're in the 25th of August currently. We're about to start the level playing field, and the BRICS summit have just ditched, well, the BRICS nations have just ditched the petrodollar. And you don't think that we're heading onto the level playing field? We're here. We are here. I'm telling you, I know where we are now. It's so blatant. We are entering the level playing field in September now. We are here. It's done. Okay? And what does that mean? We can go back to the bearable guy scene and show this. There's enormous change coming. Okay? There's regs coming. And we know that the G20 has just posted that. So everything is occurring in one. We've got the G20 regulations occurring. Look. G20 set to crystallise global crypto regulations as India wraps up presidency. Well, who's in the G20? The UK, the US. Right. Let's jump forward a little bit. I wanted to bring you to what's going on right now. Well, what's going on in the Federal Reserve right now? Well, they've got a meeting at Jackson Hole right now, today, yesterday, okay? And this lady, Lael Brainard, is there. Lael Brainard is your National Economic Council. She's spoke about tons of stuff. And I'm going to run off piste a little bit and just show you one video about Lael Brainard and her connections to payments, the topic of payments. It's a video by I think it's Darren Moore. Let me find it. I'm going to do a separate video on this in a minute for you, but I wanted to do this first video on connecting BRICS and the level playing field. Where are you, you bugger? Show yourself. 2, 3. Here we go. It's here. Stop. Right. Listen to this. This is 2019. And she is speaking at the Future of Money in the Digital Age, October the 16th, 2019. This is her bio. She is a bomb. She was the 22nd Vice Chair of the Federal Reserve, and she's now the Director of the National Economic Council. Listen. And she's in the meeting currently with Jerome Powell at the level playing field.
You mentioned the speed of cross-border payments and the opaqueness of that process, and I guess it's also error-prone to some extent with SWIFT. Santander seems to be trying to approach it with a partnership with Ripple. Just curious what your thoughts are on that.
So I do think that of the use cases out there, cross-border is one of the most compelling. We know that intermediation chains cross-border are long and quite opaque, and they're slow, and they can be quite costly. So my sense is that technology with appropriate safeguards could make a material impact and likely will, and it may well be through a partnership model. I don't want to pronounce on any particular approach, but there are a variety of partnerships out there that are trying to innovate and to reduce frictions and increase transparency for those cross-border transactions. In my sense, I'm fairly optimistic that there are some good solutions out there that don't necessitate a global stablecoin.
Boom, stablecoin, Facebook, Libra. That's how this all shifted into gears. Okay, that's her. She's in the Federal Reserve meeting right now. Okay, with Jerome Powell. I just showed you an image of them hanging out together. There's, where was it? Come on. Here, slow. My computer's dying on me. What's going on? Okay, it's them there. Right, let's switch gears. So we can see the stuff going on in BRICS. We know about the level playing. We know who's there right now. What the hell connects these two together? What is the connector between this level playing field and BRICS? I've tweeted it out today for you after I kept on watching so many videos. Have I got it here? It should be updating right now. Okay, read this. I want to read it out to you because it's important. It's a big drop that I had in my head. What's the BRICS and level playing field connection? It's Trump. BRICS, Trump, level playing field. Bonfire guy cracked it years ago. Okay, And how do I know it's Trump? Let's go into it just briefly. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 videos about Trump. Okay, listen to this. The level playing field.
What Trump and the Patriots are doing, they are building a brand new economic system.
I think we are taking the moral high road by identifying currency manipulation as an unfair trade practice. It really undermines the principles of free trade. And it's a natural response to say, if you're going to effectively apply a tariff against American goods through currency manipulation, making them more expensive in your own country, then our only recourse is to say, then we're going to have to do something as well. Unless we call them on it, we can't begin to seek these broader remedies that I think would start to bring about a level international monetary playing field, and that's fundamental to authentically free trade.
A brand new economic system, not just here in the United States, but with other countries around the world.
We're going to do a fantastic deal once we clear up some of the obstacles in our path.
It's a fantastic many deals. Talking about many different deals, but we're having a good time. As far as UK and the United States, we're working on a very big trade deal, and I think it's going to work out very well.
Why do you think Trump and the Patriots have been making bilateral free trade agreements with different countries? Made a deal, or is going to make a deal, with China. Most likely soon with Russia.
As
Shifting gears. So what did Trump do? Well, let's watch.
This is going to be the proof for you.
today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning.
To give you the strength to have the courage to trust in the plan for the next 6 months, because you're going to see overwhelming proof.
Because today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another. Thank you very much, everybody.
From the Oval Office tonight, President Trump with a wink and a tease. Thank you very much.
You'll find out. But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Every single government on earth, all of them, have capitulated over to Trump.
White House veterans warn words matter.
Those words that come out of the president's mouth have an impact all around the globe, and sometimes there are unintended consequences because of the words that are spoken.
Mr. President, I'll give this ball to you, and now the ball is in your court.
The gift of a soccer ball.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the comic book stone. What's this one? Could be the comic book stone. What's going to be? You'll find out. Do not allow anyone to tell you that it cannot be done. No challenge can match the heart and fight and spirit of America. We will not fail. Our country will thrive and prosper again.
Boom, and there you have it. It was Trump that went around all of those world leaders. He went to Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. He corralled all those nations together in the BRICS nations along with America to create a new plan. Yeah, a global plan to avert, I'm going to use the word, the old satanic banking system that has controlled this planet for eons, and it's a shift away from the dark into the light. Okay, and there is a DLT that backs all of this. Make no mistake about it, everything that we've come for this far ties directly into where we're at now. And this is looking back over time at what occurred in order to facilitate these changes, the ditching of the petrodollar for trade, because it was all about trade. It's not about the American Reserve world currency per se, it's about the trade status of the petrodollar. Do you notice the difference? And this is a subtle difference, one that I'm learning about day by day now, is that, we all thought, the death of the Reserve world currency, well, that takes time, that's fading out. But for trade purposes, they're going to move to, as Mark Carney said, a global hegemonic virtual currency for trade. And that is the level playing field. If you look at Bonfire Guy's videos, they are phenomenal. He's got so much info on here. I urge you to liquidity crisis, level playing field, the showdown, hold my beer with Brad on it, the end game, the internet value. He gets it. He sees this game. BRICS, the level playing field, Industry 4.0, globalism. It all ties in. And this level playing field is the acronym, or the description rather, the metaphor for this borderless movement of value that isn't controlled by one entity like a SWIFT or run on one currency like the dollar. This is breaking open the bloody dam, okay? And so when this occurs, and as it occurs, you're going to see an incredible Cambrian explosion. And this is why it's so fascinating to watch, and to document, and to research, and to dot connect. So, does that make sense? Have we gone full circle? Trump is the connection between this BRICS movement and the level playing field. He is behind the mastermind or the figure front, whatever you want to call it, as the leader that took this challenge on and changed it from underneath. In the middle of this timeline, you had the pandemic, the shutdown, the reset, the back to pause. Okay, and now we're seeing it build back up again into a new era of world finance. And you're watching it play out in front of your very eyes. Okay, we've talked about this time and time again. The level playing field is beginning. We're here. We're less than, how many days away? 6 days away? You call it. Anyhow, please give the video a like, a subscribe, a share, a follow, a comment, everything. Come onto my Twitter, give me a follow, say hello. And I hope this has joined some amazing dots for you. This is the work of Bonfire Guy. We must give credit to him for this. He's the guy that ran this race way ahead of everyone else, and dot connected, cracked it all. We are just sitting on his coattails, going through his content, trying to now catch up with everything that he was saying back then. A bloody genius ahead of his time. So all credit to him for all these amazing nuggets that I'm just representing to you all in the kind of time that it's occurring. Anyhow, I hope that's been great. I hope you're all having fun on your Fridays. Go out there, get into the outdoors, don't sit on computers all day, and see you in the next video. Be blessed.